Hello, I'm Sophia.
And hey, I'm Kristin, and we are
Under the Barbell.
Over the Bullshit.
And we're a podcast for women who are sick of being told to just eat less, move more, and what they really want is to get strong, take up space, feel confident, and age well.
That's what we're all about, empowering women to live for more than a before and after photo.
So, wherever you are, grab a coffee or a pre-workout and hit play, because your anti-diet culture BFFs have arrived. What's up, Ubob fam?
Ubobers!
Hey, hi, hello.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Wednesday for us.
I know. Last episode, you said Happy Tuesday, and I was like, what? It's not Tuesday.
I
forgot.
I know.
Oh,
I feel like
goodness.
we have so much to talk. I feel like it's been a solid 3-4 weeks since we've even recorded because of doing a couple, and then I went to Glacier.
Yes.
So we're gonna have a lot. Our intro is going to be, I think, a lot of different things, and then even the episode is just gonna be kind of random mashup of different things.
Lots of stuff. We're gonna try to keep all the lots of stuff concise because Lord knows we can talk. We're gonna not keep everyone on this episode for 2 hours. That's the goal.
I told when I was showing Kristin my notes, I was like, okay, so I have this I can talk about, this, and this. I don't have to talk about all of it, but let's be real. Let's be honest. I probably will. I can't not now because this has been on my list. So, but first, I want to know what does your shirt say?
Oh, my shirt says, let me move my cord. This is one of my favorites. He who hath not a uterus should shut the fucketh up. And it's
I love it. Fallopians
1973. Because initially Roe versus Wade was in 1973. But yeah, I was like, oh, this is one of my favorites.
Perfect.
Should shut the fucketh up.
Yep. Nice. I love that. Oh, we were going to start off with a review.
Oh, that's right. I can. Do you have one, or do you want me to go?
No, I don't. I can't even see them. I don't know why. I can't see them on my end.
You can't see them?
They don't show up still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so for all the Ubobers listening, if you go to Apple Podcasts and you can review our podcast with words, you can leave an actual review, not just 5 stars. On Spotify, it's just stars. So if y'all could...
No, on Spotify, you should be able to leave a review.
I don't think so.
Oh, no?
I've never...
Okay. Well, you're right. It's okay.
Yeah. If you can, I don't know how. So if you could just take a minute, we would love you forever and ever and ever if you could leave us reviews wherever you're listening. But Apple Podcasts is where I am getting these reviews. So we're going to read a review, an episode, if I can. Here we go. I found them. So we're going to leave a review read. Jesus. I just start this shit over. I'm going to read a review. We're going to read a review per episode and thank y'all who reviewed them. It's sometimes it doesn't leave names. It's just username, so I don't know exactly who it is, but whoever you are, thank you. And if y'all could go ahead and leave more reviews, that'll give us more things to read. So just the very first one I'll start with, that's right on here. It says, love how these two ladies keep it real. Both have a healthy fitness-focused mindset, but share different perspectives, giving well-rounded insights. They remind us that health is a lifestyle and long-term commitment, not just a quick fix. So thank you to the Ubobber who left that. It's SDP and then a bunch of numbers. So SDP, whoever you are, you're the best. Thank you.
Yes.
And if y'all could, I wonder
if it's Susan, one of my clients.
I don't know.
SDP, Susan do it. But yeah, I don't know.
Maybe. But y'all, wherever you're listening, leave us reviews, even if it's just the 5 stars on Spotify, YouTube, wherever it is that you're listening. Reviews are really, really helpful for us.
Por favor.
Yeah. You just saying por favor.
Yeah. I think it a lot. I don't text it. I'll text people that por favor. It's just, I don't know.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. So, all right. So, we got a review. We got the shirt. What's next on your list?
Well, if you haven't already, if you're not following the gram, Ubob Pod, and then also you can, if you ever have like a topic, we always do the Ask Us Anything post on Mondays on Instagram. You can comment on those posts. But if you have a question or a topic you want to go over, comments, concern, feedback, you can always message us on Instagram, but you can also email us at ubobpod@gmail.com. So there's that. Otherwise, I got stories.
You got stories.
I
Let's
got
hear
stories.
them. I know
Okay, so
you were like gone, like no service, kind of
yes,
gone.
it was great. It was great. Oh, I loved it.
Good.
Yeah. Glacier National Park. It was gorgeous, so beautiful. And so okay, I love to camp and I love to hike, right? But what me and Kiana have learned in this experience is that she's more of the camper and I'm more of the hiker. Like we
Mm.
both don't not like to do those things, but like I love to hike more, maybe a little bit more than she does, and she probably likes to just like chill at the campsite a little bit more than me. So moving forward, we like know that we're going to make sure we ask each other like what our priorities are and whatnot, whatever. So, with that being said, we did have a day where we went hiking, and this was on Going to Sun Road. If you're familiar with Glacier National Park, there's a road and it's called Going to Sun Road. Longest road name I've ever heard. But it's like where there's a lot of the hikes and stuff that you can do, and there's other hikes outside of the park and whatnot. But going to that was beautiful. And I'm just going to throw this out here because if you're listening to this and you're going to someday go to Glacier National Park, write this shit down. Make it like remember it in your brain, whatever. Okay. You're going to want to wake up at like, I'm not kidding, 3, 4 a.m. If you want to beat the crowd, if you want parking spots, if
Mm.
you want to like not be around the people, we got up at like 5:30ish. We got there, and first of all, you have to have a shuttle to you have to pay for a shuttle if you go within the hours of 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you go before 7 a.m., you're solid, you're good. If you go after 3 p.m., you're golden. You don't need a pass. However, like I said, if you want to get there early in the morning, you gotta get there before 7 a.m. So we got up at 5:30, and we got there, and it was around. We got to like Logan Pass is like one of the main, like a bigger one, or Logan Pass like visitor center, and there was already a lot of people out. And when we got to that parking lot, let's see, it was probably 6:30ish. I don't think it was even 7 yet. Parking lot was full. It was packed. And at Glacier on that road, there's not like a ton of parking, like not dedicated parking. You can go on the street and stuff. But yeah, you have to so that was a one note that I made. And then also right now, this time of year, if you're listening around this time, they're doing construction. And so up until like even 2026 maybe,
Oh
if
wow.
you're going to Mini Glacier, which I think is one of the bigger like towns, and also access to other hikes, then you have to also have a shuttle, which is pass, which is separate than the other one I just mentioned. And we were going to go to Grinnell Glacier, and there's either you can take the trail that goes to the bottom and looks up at the glacier, or at the top and like looks kind of down at it. And so long story short, we did not get the pass like what I was hoping for. It was damn near impossible. They say you can either get the pass 120 days beforehand, or a week before, or the day before. It'll like open up, and we did it the day before. And I should have looked at reviews, because all the reviews after when I looked was like, it is impossible to get
Mm.
a pass. Impossible. So you got to do that ahead of time if you want to make sure to get like do your research for Glacier if you're a hiker. I did a little bit, but also I didn't realize that there was all of this other shit going on.
Yeah,
So
I would have had no idea.
yeah, so there was that. But when we were walking, so we ended up doing we had a hike day, and we didn't do one of the ones that there was miscommunication. We didn't do that one. We went on a different one, and it was like a 3-hour hike. And then to go back, we decided to take the road back to our vehicle because it was shorter, and we just wanted to get back to our car quicker to maybe either hike more or go back. And I was walking the road is in the mountains, right? So it's like the pew 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 windy road. And so we're walking onto the oncoming traffic way because if they're coming then they can see us. And there's no sidewalk. It's like the road and then a bunch of grass and weeds and all of that, and it's just kind of shitty to walk in, or just not shitty, but it's just hard to walk into. All of a sudden, a patrol car he didn't have his sirens on. So I'm like walking on the road because if there's no cars, I'm going on the road, right? And I
Sure.
was about to even walk a little bit more towards the right, like towards the traffic. And I'm glad I didn't, because I'm serious. This patrol car, there was another car like ongoing, passing. and this patrol car passes him right where I'm at. Like, I felt like he almost hit me,
Oh my god.
and, he didn't have his sirens on. So, okay, I was like, "Holy shit. Okay, dude, have your sirens on." And, he didn't. Within the next 10 minutes, there was, like, 3 or 4 other patrol cars
Oh,
that drove by, and they had sirens on. We're like, "What the fuck? Something's going down."
something's going on, yeah.
Yeah. We went to our car, we turned around, started going back, and there was like, they were kind of blocking off the road, and there was cops, patrols, people looking, like, I saw people looking for something, and I'm like, "Oh my god, what is going on?" So, didn't think anything of it, like, we didn't know what happened. Well, like, a few days later after we got back, one of my clients sent me an article, and it was on Highline Trail, which is like, oh my god, that is another bucket list. I wanna go on Highline Trail. It's, like, on the side of the mountain, and it's very at times, I think, very narrow, like, it's, like, a few feet and then boom, drop off of that mountain, and a lady was, like, 70-ish years old, was with a group of people,
Oh.
slipped,
Oh,
fell, and she
no.
died, and it was the same day that we went on hiking, 'cause it was 26, it was on our anniversary, and
Oh.
it was the same exact, like, we looked at where it was, and that's where it was, so, like, on that same day, on that hike that I wanted to do, someone had.
Oh my
Yes,
god.
and so, yeah, so I was like, "Holy shit,
Oh.
that's we're there." And so sad when that happens. I
Yeah.
don't know, I think they were still investigating it, but I think she just kinda slipped and fell. And then, also, a lady was attacked by a bear that same day, but she
What?
was okay, she was okay. Yeah, we wanted to see a bear, but we did not see a bear. She got it, I guess, apparently, so it was a grizzly bear, she got attacked, and the your dog is just looking up at you.
That's what she does.
And and, her partner, I guess he had, like, husband, boyfriend, whatever, had bear spray and sprayed the bear, and then the bear, like, ran off right
Oh
away. So
my god.
luckily, like, he had the bear spray and she was okay,
Oh.
but yeah.
What in
So
the world?
that yes, yeah, I know. So it's crazy. So that's just a couple of my stories from that. Oh, there was a funny story too. So this is one of those stories that it's probably funnier in person,
Yeah.
but we were at our campsite and I think cooking, doing things, putting stuff away. Kiana had the silverware, like, the plastic silverware that's in a, like, plastic box, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she was putting stuff away and I heard something fall and I knew it was that cuz I heard them and I came over and I was like, "Did those just fall out?" And she's like, "Oh, no." What did she say? She's like, "That was close." She was like, "No, they almost did." She was holding it. They all come out the bottom of the
Oh
the other
no.
side. Oh my god, it was so fucking funny. Because right when she said, "No, that could've been bad," like, they almost fell out, just the entire thing from the bottom, all of it fell on the ground. She looks at me. Oh my god, that was, like, one of my favorite, obviously, the views and hiking was my favorite
Sure.
and just, like, being with her, but that was one of my
Yeah.
favorite
I
moments,
just imagine
was
you both just looking at each other like that just happened.
I could not stop laughing. Anytime I thought about it, I was just, like, crying, laughing. It was
Oh,
hilarious.
oh my
So
god.
anyways, yes, it was a good trip. We ended up leaving a bit early to go surprise her mom. We were gonna take off the location. Remember that when I told
Yes,
you
I was
that?
gonna ask how that came out.
She did turn off her location, and I should have checked it, like, duh, because I have her on my
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
but some other setting wasn't set right. I don't know, and she saw that we were, like, in
Oh.
driving back and on our way, so it wasn't, like, a super surprise, but she was still
She's
happy
still
that
happy, yeah.
we came back, yeah, so that was good. All in all,
That's
great trip, loved
good.
it. Definitely wanna go
Awesome.
back, definitely wanna hike Grinnell Glacier. Yeah, so
Was
if
that
anyone listening,
your first time
just
at
yeah,
Glacier?
mhm,
How
yeah.
far is that from you?
I don't know, but it was like a 2-day, so we drove and stayed in Billings. It was probably that was our longer drive, so, like, 8, 9-hour drive, and
Wow.
then the second day was, like, 5-ish, or maybe that's
Damn.
a little bit, but yeah, something like that, and then so we took a couple days to drive. Mhm,
Wow.
mhm, yeah,
Wow. Yeah. Well,
but
we
and
can everyone can rest assured they will not catch me driving 2 days to go camp. So that won't be a thing that
you're not a
anybody is
camper?
gonna catch
Oh
me
my
doing.
gosh. Oh, our campsite was perfect too. It just, it was amazing. And
I
to
love, like, the beauty of it, but I
yeah.
really need running water. Like, I gotta wipe my ass properly. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, wait,
I
no,
just
we had bathrooms.
okay.
So this is a campsite. We didn't do it like backcountry, like, it was like a
Okay.
campground.
Okay,
So Fish
okay.
Creek Campground, if anyone listening, like, that is a solid one to go to. But there was right where we picked, there was the bathrooms, showers
Okay.
we
And there
were
was, like, other
somewhere.
people
Yes. Mhm.
too? Okay, yeah, see, that was the
Yeah.
other thing. I'm like, I'm way too into true crime, and I'm like, "No, I guarantee I will get murdered." Like, I can't do
Oh,
that.
I had many scenarios going through my head the
Yeah.
entire time. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know. I'm more of a like I don't mind hiking. Like we'll go hiking as much as you can hike in like a day. But then it's like, yeah, no, I'm gonna go head back and I'm gonna, have a roof and microwave
Cleanliness.
and
Oh, yeah, oh my gosh, we have a tent, but then we also have air mattress and, a couple, actually, and we found out after because when we were blowing it up, I was like, "This actually might have a hole in it." I
oh
feel like I
no,
remember
that's
all
not
of
the
our air
time to figure it
mattresses
out.
having a hole. I know. And so they did. We didn't check beforehand like we should've, but, the air mattress went out, and so that night we went to the there was, like, a small town nearby, convenience type store, and they had, like, pads, like, that you can lay
Hmm.
down. They weren't very comfy. That my body hurt when I woke up,
Oh,
like yeah, so next time we're gonna double check or at least get some comfier stuff to lay on.
yeah, for sure. But that's good. And happy anniversary to both of you. For
Thank you.
anyone who didn't see the post I put up, at least
Yes, that's so nice of you. It's
that's
so
what
sweet. I was like,
the
"Oh my gosh."
I was like I was on your Facebook and I was like looking through your pictures to decide which one to steal. And I'm like, I hope that this is okay that I'm totally doing this. Like I think
Yes,
it's probably
oh my god, I loved it. I
fine.
loved it. I was like, "Oh, so nice." Yes.
So fun. All right.
What was
Well,
your story?
so my story. So y'all, I was just telling Sophia, like, I have this like weird friendship with Sophia where like I want to text her and tell her about things when they happen, but then I'm like, no, you can't do that. You have to wait and you have to tell her while we're recording a podcast. So it's like we have this like delayed friendship where like if it's something that I think is going to be a good story, I'm like, sorry, you're just going to have to wait to hear it. So, so this happened. I think probably while y'all were there,
Yeah, because you
maybe.
texted me and you told me to, like, remind you about a crazy story that
Okay.
happened.
So it is like the middle of the night. I don't remember. Oh, this was a Tuesday night. I do remember because I had I see clients Wednesday mornings, so I had to get up to see clients. And so it was on Tuesday night, and I don't sleep very well right now. I'm pretty sure it's my ADHD medicine that is causing me issues, and we're doing lots of things. My therapist is doing so like we're trying to do the things to get me to sleep, but I'm pretty sure they're changing my medicine soon anyway. So hopefully I will start sleeping like a regular person. I used to sleep really well. Anyway, I don't sleep great, and so I'm in and out, very light sleep, and I heard some noise that woke me up and I literally said out loud, "What the hell was that?" And I laid there like real still. The dog didn't bark. My husband didn't make any sound. I didn't hear anything else. So I thought maybe that was like in a dream, like you ever have a dream that wakes you up
Uh-huh.
like you hear, so I was like maybe that was it. Maybe there was some sound in my dream and it like startled me awake. So I'm like, all right, well, whatever. I'm going to try to go back to sleep. So I do. And I'm just barely dozing off. I'm kind of in this in and out light sleep. And I hear someone talking like outside. And my bedroom is on the front part of my house. So I have two windows in my bedroom, and both of those look straight out to like our driveway and like the road and whatever. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so I'm smacking my husband and he's all like, because he would sleep through a friggin' hurricane. And so I'm smacking him and he's like, what? And I'm like, somebody's talking. And he's like, what? And so he freezes and he jumps up. And it's funny how like everybody goes into like autopilot. And he jumps up and I grab my phone and I rip out the charging cord and so like my first instinct is call 911 because what the fuck? Why is there someone? And we looked at it was 3 a.m. ish, somewhere around
Oh,
there. And
shit.
so I'm like, why is there someone at 3 a.m. like shouting? This guy was yelling outside my bedroom window. And so he immediately runs to the gun safe. I immediately grab the phone. So I'm on 911. He's grabbing guns.
Oh, you do
And
call 911?
oh, I did. Yep. Yeah. And I was like, should I call 911? And I'm like, you know what? Like, don't call I had this like moment. Again, I listened to way too much true crime, but I had this moment where I'm like, if I don't call now, it might be too late. And
True, that's
um
true.
bless the Nashville Metropolitan Police Department, but they ain't going to be here for like an hour anyway. So I'm like, I might as well get that call in now so they eventually do show up, because they
Yeah.
are notorious for taking for flipping ever to get anywhere. So I was like, okay. And then, like, this guy's just yelling. You couldn't understand anything he was saying. And I just hear a man yelling outside my bedroom window at 3 a.m. Like, that's scary as fuck, you know? So I go to like the back part of the house, which is like through our kitchen and like into our laundry room and stuff, just so I can talk without this guy hearing us. Cause I didn't want to like trigger him if he hears that we're awake, or, I don't know what's going on. So I call and I tell them, I'm like, there is a man shouting outside my bedroom window, and my street has sidewalks on the other side. Like, my side of the street has no sidewalks, no nothing. There's no reason anybody should have been anywhere near my yard.
Yeah.
And my yard isn't like big, but it's big-ish, where the house is set back a little bit. Nobody should be anywhere near my house, you know? So that's why I'm like, I'm just calling 911. No one should be here. So I do. And so she's like, okay, I need to know, like, is he looking in your windows? I'm like, I don't know. I ran the other way. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna need a description. I need to know what he's doing, whatever. So I'm like peeking like real careful through the blinds. And homie's just sitting on my front porch, just with his phone, and his phone is like lit up, and he's just like kind of moving around, and he's just shouting, and it sounds like he's talking with shit in his mouth. He's just like rah, 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 rah. And I'm like, I don't know what he's saying, and I can hear him very clearly, but you can't make out any words. And I'm like, he's just sitting on my front porch, and we keep our front porch light on because the aforementioned, I feel like this is a theme. We're a little bit paranoid. And so we keep the lights outside our house are always on. And it's also a deterrent. There's a lot of people, they break into cars a lot here in Nashville. And so it's a deterrent for car break-ins, because we don't park in the
Mhm.
garage, because my garage is my gym. So it's, so for all those reasons. So you can see the guy plain as day, just sitting under my porch light, just sitting there with his phone, like kind of flailing around. And so I'm giving her a description of what he looks like, what he's wearing, whatever. And he gets up and he like walks away a few steps, and then he comes back with his arms going, rah, 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 rah. And I'm like, what is happening? So then he sits down again for a while. He gets up again, and he walks like through our side yard, through the neighbor's yard, to the road, where we see a car facing the wrong way, parked on like, it's like on a shoulder kind of, but we have a ditch. It's like an immediate ditch. So it's almost in the ditch, but it's facing the wrong direction on that side of the road. And so I'm telling her, like, okay, this is where he's going. Then he just starts walking down my road. And my road is fairly busy normally, like not this time of night, but typically it's fairly busy. It's got like the double yellow lines. He's literally just walking down the yellow lines barefoot. And you can
Oh my
just see
god.
his phone lit up, and he's just going. And I'm like telling her, like, I don't know where he's going. I don't know what he's doing. Like, whatever. And so she's like, okay, well, sorry to put my dog down. She's like, okay, we'll just, if you hear anything, if anything else happens, call us right back immediately. And I'm like, okay. And like, nobody's sleeping now, like, there's no way in hell we're sleeping. So we are just staring out the window, waiting to see if he's going to come back again. And while we're doing that, my husband, the brilliant man that he is like, oh, wait, we have a doorbell camera. So he pulls up the doorbell video, and dude is like sitting down on my porch talking to my potted plant, like legit looking at it, acknowledging it like with his hand, like, "Rah, rah," and the only words we can make out is something along the lines of, not my fault. And everything else was murr, 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 and he's talking to my plant like it's a person, Sophia, I swear to
He's
God.
on
Oh,
something.
yeah. So we're sitting here watching to see if he comes back, because now we're freaked out. I can't sleep now, because what if he comes back, And
Right.
so then we see a police car pull up. Now it's been like 30 minutes. Like I said, they're not exactly speedy around here. So about 30 minutes, we see a cop car pull up, and he sees that car parked the wrong way over. And so he parks his cruiser and he gets out and he's looking at it and going up and down the road, whatever. So we throw on like flip flops and a hoodie and whatever. And we go out to show him. I was like, hey, I'm the one who called. Here's the doorbell camera. Here's what we see. And this guy goes, he's looking at it and he goes, well, that's drugs right there. And I was like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Like, you learned that at the academy? Thanks. Like, no kidding. So, and he's like, all right. He's like, thanks, whatever. And so we're like, I mean, what else can you do? So we go back in. I'm like, well, the police are here. Like, hopefully he can handle it, whatever. I need to try to go to sleep because I've got to get up soon to see clients. And it's like 3:30 now, probably, or 3:45. And my husband goes and because he had put his contacts in so he can help watch for the guy. And so he goes and takes his contacts back out and we're just laying down when all of a sudden you hear him again coming up the road, shouting up the road. And
Holy
so we
shit.
jump back up out of bed and we're looking out the window. And so now the cop sees him, thank God. And so we're watching this whole thing go down. The cop is got like a flashlight, and he's like he's trying to tell him to sit down on the curb, but the guy's like not there. And so he finally gets him to sit down. And then another cop shows up. And so now both of them are like kind of like prostrate. I'm like, guys, like no one is shooting anybody in front of my house right now. Like that's a rule that I have. I'm very firm. Firm rule, no one gets shot in front of my house. But you could tell like the way they were kind of posturing, and the guy had a bag. And so like the one cop kind of goes around him and gets the bag off of him and whatever, and they go through it. I don't think there's anything in it. But then a third cop shows up. And so now the third cop is over at the car, starts pulling shit out of the car, pulls out like a whole big white fluffy bedroom pillow. I was like, homie, like that pillow looks so comfortable. What are you doing out here? But the cop said he definitely was living out of his car, which is very common around here, unfortunately. So they're, all this whatever going on and on and on. They get him handcuffed. Oh, they try. I have video of a lot of it too, because I'm like, if something does happen, I want video of it.
Yeah.
To help whoever's the innocent party in this case, whether it's him or the officers. And so I'm recording. And so I have this video where these officers, let me say that, I was going to say a not nice word, these dumbasses is what I was going to say, literally get this guy up who can't even articulate a word, and they're trying to give him a field sobriety test.
What? I mean,
yes, he's standing there and they're trying to make him walk, what, and he's just staring at his one foot and trying to put it down. And I'm like, guys, he's not going to pass this. What are we doing here? Why are we doing this?
Do they have to legally do that or something?
Maybe. I was wondering that too. They might. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
And but anyway, all kinds of shit happens. Then a tow truck shows up. And so I have I have a picture of just a zoomed out picture of all these flashing lights. If I was trying to sleep, there's no way in the world I could, because there's so many flashing lights right in my house. And the tow truck comes and they get him into the cop car. They're loading up the tow truck. But it's the chains down the tow truck. It's all this loud shit. The tow truck's beeping as it passes, whatever. And it ended up, obviously, everything was fine. But it was the craziest night. We only got 3 hours of sleep.
Oh my God.
And then I had to get up and see clients, and all my clients were like, you should have just told us and stayed in bed. And I was like, I was already up. I might as well.
Yeah, if I was already up. Otherwise, I'm texting my clients and being like, yo, here's what happened. I'm not going to make it.
Yeah. And I would say, I was like, I don't have a whole lot else planned today that's actually scheduled. I have a lot to do, but I didn't have a lot that was actually, scheduled anywhere I had to be or anything. So I'm like, I'm just going to go home and nap. It's fine.
Yeah.
And so, but then my son gets up though, 16-year-old, just like his father, had no idea anything happened. Did not wake up. That loud, the beeping of the tow truck.
That doesn't even surprise me.
Chains,
a 16-year-old boy.
Man shouting outside our window. I'm like, do you have no survival instincts? What? It was crazy. So anyway, that's hilarious. The abbreviated version of my crazy ass story. Things that do not typically happen at my house. And then today, it's funny because that was a couple weeks ago. And then today, I had a client this morning, but she came to the house because she just lives up the road. So I was getting ready to go out and open up the garage for her for the garage gym. And right as I'm getting ready, I hear smash, like 2 cars smashed into each other in like the
Oh,
same spot where
shit.
this guy had his car turned around the wrong way. And so so then all these fire trucks and ambulances and everybody shows up. And so I take a picture out my garage. I was like, just another day in the neighborhood, apparently. It's
Oh
just
my
what we
god.
do.
Oh, shit.
It
Was people
was
okay, though? They just ran
yeah.
into each other?
Yeah, the one car was so my road gets pretty backed
Jeez.
up, during, like, rush hour because there's a school around the corner, so traffic just gets a little crazy. So, the car was trying to pull out of the street and get into, like, the long line of traffic, so, like, she had to go real slow, to kinda try to get in,
Yeah.
and another car was coming up the other direction pretty fast and just took off the front end of her car.
Oh,
And,
jeez.
everyone seemed okay. Everybody got out and was walking, but the lady that got hit, that got the front end taken off, it killed me. Like, after she gets out, I'm like, "Okay, she's walking, she's fine." But then she goes to the back seat and gets this little kid out who is, like, I don't know, maybe, like, kindergarten or 1st grade age, like, this tiny
Oh,
little pink
man.
backpack, and I was like, "Oh,
Oh,
that's awful." She's probably just trying to go to
no.
school,
Yeah.
But, yeah, but everybody ended up being okay. They got it cleaned up
That's
fairly
good.
quickly. Before my client's session was over, they were already gone and just kind of finished getting stuff out of her car for the tow truck to take it and stuff, so
Yeah.
but yeah, lots of
Wild.
excitement here in
Yeah.
good old
Jeez.
n eastern where am I? I'm northeastern, I guess, Nashville.
Oh my god.
So
Um, PS, I did not know that you have curly hair.
oh my god, okay, so, did you see I posted a video on Facebook.
I
Alright,
think I briefly saw a video of you talking about it, and then
yeah.
I was busy doing something, I was like, "What the fuck? She has curly hair?"
So,
Very
I
curly.
mean, like, yes and no. So, I did not have curly hair when I was younger. And when I right around puberty, like, right around when I got my first period, I like, just right here at, like, the crown of my head turned curly, but everything else was totally completely straight. And that's how it stayed for decades. And then maybe like a year-ish ago, maybe a little more than a year ago, my stylist noticed that it seemed like it was starting to get wavier in, like, other parts of my hair, which I'm assuming was because I had kinda hit perimenopause and I was, like, hormone changes, probably because like, the hormone changes seemed to be what caused, like, that little spot when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm
Mhm.
like, "Okay, maybe" people told me, like, "When you have a kid, I bet it's gonna change," and it didn't. And then as I got into, like, perimenopause, you could tell that it was, like, starting to spread. Well, it got, like, super fast forwarded because of the meds that I'm on for breast cancer block my estrogen. And so now it's this, like, it
Whoa. Oh,
even
wow.
yeah, and I just started those meds in January, and now, I have legit curly hair, and I've
Holy shit.
no idea how to do curly hair. If anyone's listening that has any pro tips for someone with very thin and very fine curly hair, I will take any tips I can get because I'm 46 years old and I've never in my life had to do curly hair,
That's
and I don't know.
wild.
That's why it's always in
Well,
a ponytail.
yeah.
So I
I
don't know
just
what to
so
do.
after seeing that, I was like, "Oh, maybe she just, like, straightens it or something because your hair was
Yeah.
pretty straight before."
Yeah, that's what
But
I've
my
been
sis
doing.
Oh, okay, okay. My older sister, she has very curly hair, but she also has a little bit more thick hair, but she was following, I'll have to ask her, it's like something curly girl
Oh, the curly
protocol or
girl method?
yeah, something like so maybe look that up.
Yeah, somebody, one of my Facebook from that video that I posted. So I put a video on Facebook where I was like, "Curly haired people, look at what I'm working with. Someone help me." And one of my friends added me to a Facebook group that's the Curly Girl Method. So I
Oh,
haven't
nice.
really looked into it a whole lot yet, and I will. But
Oh,
but I am at least in the Facebook group. But yeah, like I've been just flat ironing it, like, and even that spot in the back since like I was a kid, I would just flat iron and move on with my life. It wasn't a big deal because
yeah.
everything else was straight. And this spot back there that was curly first, like my whole life almost, it's now the curl has changed and it's a very kinky curl. It's not like what you see in the front
What do you
here.
mean kinky?
It's like it's almost like ethnic hair, right? Just in this one spot right here. And
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know how to make that not frizzy. And so that's another thing, again, anyone listening, it's
Wow,
I very
interesting.
clearly have 2 different types of curl. Just at the crown of my head, it's like, like I said, I can't It's not like these will legit turn into ringlets if I let them, in the front, but this is not at all. It's very tight, kinda yeah.
Wow.
And
All
so
right.
that just adds to my struggles. And I have to stop putting heat on it. Like that's why I was like, okay, I just need
Yeah,
to
it's
embrace the
terrible.
fact that there's so many curls because I've been putting so much heat on it that it's just damaging my hair. And
Yes.
so I was like, I got to stop and I'm just going to have to be a big girl and learn how to do curly hair. But
Yeah. Yeah.
in the meantime, it's a ponytail for me.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's crazy. That's so interesting to me. Well,
yeah,
hopefully, yeah, hopefully you'll start to
maybe.
learn some things, try some
Yeah,
things.
get some tips from anybody listening. I'll take them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, like we said, today is gonna be like a hodgepodge. I feel like we've already
It already is.
it's kind of like what it is, yeah. So I have some things that kind of bounce off from other previous episodes, things that have like people have asked about or like Kiana has talked to
Mhm.
me about, and I was like, "Oh, that's actually good. I'm gonna bring that up." And then from posting our Ask Us Anything on Monday, we have some people that have asked questions. So we're gonna go through that. And I think that's pretty much it, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
that might
it.
okay. Okay, first of all, so I need to find the study or like the specific if I mean I did see it, but I need to see if I can find it and link it probably if people want to know. But this was recent. Like there was a study done of over 100,000 people, and they found that exercise is this specific one said 1.5 more effective, 1.5
Yeah.
times more effective. So, but it's just more effective than medication or therapy for reducing depression and anxiety, and especially in older
Dang.
adults, which is like wild.
Yes.
And it showed that strength training, yoga, even short workouts, walks were all linked to measurable health improvements with adults and especially over 45 responding even better and honestly makes total sense. But
Yes.
so my quick take on that is I think therapy is very important, and especially if you can find a therapist that you like,
Mhm.
there's EMDR, ART, brain spotting, like things like that you can work through and like talk about if you need to or just process certain things. But I think so many people, and I've even like had conversations with people where they're like, I want to put my mental health first and I want to get a therapist first before investing in a trainer or before
Yeah.
focusing on exercise. And like okay, I'm not knocking the therapist, like, we can do it together
For
or, like,
sure.
still do that, but the fact that this has shown that exercise is
Yeah.
proving to be even uh, a better medicine than medication, than
Yeah.
therapy for depression, and anxiety is,
That's
like, very telling, it's crazy, yeah.
wild. That is wild. Honestly, that explains a lot to me, for me myself,
Yeah,
like I don't and it's funny too because sometimes I get a little bit I don't know, not frustrated, but I get, like, annoyed when I see people be like, there was, like, this trend, it might still be going around, it wasn't that long ago, where they were like, "I can't make it, I have to go to therapy," and then it's, like, the therapy, and it's, like, them lifting or something, and I'm like, "That's not therapy." Like,
that's
yes, it's
therapeutic, I just posted about
therapeutic.
that.
Yes, it's
Yes.
therapeutic, it is not therapy. Don't negate what you know what I mean? Like, don't not
Yes.
do therapy because you say this is whatever. And I understand that it's just like it's just a post and they don't
Yeah.
maybe necessarily mean it. But that's really interesting. I mean, maybe maybe
Mhm.
it kind of is therapy.
So I was
um,
thinking about that and I was like, "Oh," because I had made a post saying that, like, exercise, like the gym, working out is not therapy, it's therapeutic,
mhm.
and, like, if you need therapy, go to therapy. But
Yes,
then I was like, when I saw this study, I'm like, "Okay, well, maybe it's a form of therapy,"
it could
right? It's
be.
like, it can be
Yeah.
a form of it or it's a different, like, type of therapy, its own type of thing, I don't
Hmm.
know, but yeah, I think it's, different I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like
I
there's, like,
think
some gray area with that.
really when I think about it, like especially for anxiety, like I'm definitely excuse me, I'm definitely an anxiety person.
Oh god, same.
And, what's interesting is so I don't know if I ever told you this, but I as so as women get older, we into perimenopause, estrogen starts to drop, and that, like, fucks with our heads. And I was starting to have really bad anxiety to the point where I was breaking out in these rashes all the way down, like, my face, my arms. It was real tingly. It felt like taking pre-workout, but I didn't take pre-workout, and it would turn red and tingly like that. And I was really struggling with, like, like I was catastrophizing things a lot to the point where I almost canceled one of my vacations to Florida that I take alone every year because I normally drive there from here, but I was going to Clearwater Beach, which is further, so I was flying. And if you had asked me at that point, I was 100% sure that plane was gonna crash, like, I was just like, my anxiety was on 1,000, and I was never, ever, ever that person before. And so I ended up starting to use HRT, so hormone replacement therapy.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Someone wants to come say hi quick.
Oh, who is it? Who is it? Hey!
Hello. Hey, hello. Just got home. She was in Iowa working.
Oh, shoot. Welcome home.
Thanks. Oh, sorry.
Did you just poke her in the eye?
Slap me.
Rude.
I know, rude. Okay, goodbye. I told her she can come say hi when she
Bye.
comes in.
Yeah, come say hi. So I've got Chloe in the camera today. You've got
Yes.
Kiana coming in. Yeah. So anyway, I started using HRT. So I had an estrogen patch, and I was taking progesterone pills at night. It immediately helped. So that's like one of those things that I tell women as you're getting older, like, don't be afraid of HRT. It helped those anxiety symptoms immediately. Well, I like almost immediately after that, I went and got my mammogram, and that's when they found my breast cancer. And my cancer is hormone driven. And so I had to go off of the HRT now. So now I can't ever for the rest of my life be on HRT
Yeah.
because I literally have to take medicine to block any estrogen my body's making. I can't add more, obviously. And so I was panicking. Like, I almost had a meltdown in my oncologist's office because I was like, I know what I felt like with the anxiety before using the HRT. And now not only are you telling me I can't use it, but now you're telling me I have to further block even more estrogen. And so she was like, let's put you in touch with our psychiatrist. I'm like, yeah, let's do that. So so I've been in therapy ever since. And what's interesting though is what we've discovered between my therapist and the psychiatrist on staff is that my anxiety is not actually anxiety. It was my ADHD that was presenting as anxiety because in women, anxiety and depression are huge symptoms, indicators, whatever, of ADHD. So since I have been getting my ADHD under control with medication and habits and structures and whatever, I don't have any of the
I'm
anxiety
fine.
issues. I mean,
Jeez,
you have
wow.
little things here and there, but nothing
Yeah,
near like it was before. Yeah. And I was like,
yeah.
huh.
Holy shit.
So again, you never know, y'all. Look into all the
Yeah.
things.
And I will say, like, so I actually I just started going to therapy. I went before, like I mentioned it in a different episode, and I did ART. Can't
Hmm.
remember the accelerated resolution therapy, but something like that. But I started going again because there's certain things that are still there and exercise doesn't solve it. Like, I'm not
Hmm.
getting to the root issue of some
Yeah.
things that are going on mentally and emotionally, and I want to get the root issue and like to navigate, to learn how to navigate those things. And so I'm actually gonna be trying brain spotting, which I've never done before.
Oh,
So that'll be I'll yeah,
yeah.
I'll keep you
Let
updated
us
on
know
that.
how that
But
goes.
yeah. So, but yeah, just all to say that, like, I think it's important to like find your balance of what's
Hmm.
gonna work. But like, just to show and prove that exercise
Yeah.
has a huge, huge impact
Yep.
and positive impact when if you do have depression, anxiety, and all
Hmm.
of those things. And so
Yeah.
yeah.
I just realized I went on that whole big long rant and told that whole story, and I never made my point. My point was my point was that I totally buy that it helps with anxiety because that would be when I would start feeling some kind of way, the first thing I would do is go move my body somehow. Like, that
Oh,
was
yes,
like
yes.
the one thing
Mhm.
that I would do that would help.
Yes, I remember I think actually one of my clients had posted something about anxiety and movement and how it's just, like,
Hmm.
stuck emotion almost too, like, you have to, like, just moving your body can
Yeah.
help. So that makes sense, yep.
Yep. Yep. About it.
And also so let's see. Oh, yeah, I just made a note that exercise should be not be an add-on, but it should be
Mm,
the first treatment prescribed.
yep.
So, yeah, there's
Start.
that. Uh-huh.
Because, I
Yeah.
mean, really, even while you're waiting for that therapist appointment, because sometimes you gotta wait,
Yeah.
a couple weeks, a few weeks,
Oh, yeah, I
whatever,
gotta wait
you
weeks,
can
yep,
start taking walks today. Like, you don't have
yep.
to wait to start moving your body.
Exactly. Speaking of walks, so I'm wearing it's like a Garmin type of thing. It's
Mhm.
kind of like a Fitbit. I thought I was getting 10,000 steps a day, 8 to 10, easy. I thought I was. And this kinda goes back to your story that you told about when you were a teacher and you thought you
Yeah.
were getting more. So, me and, Kiana, her mom, one of her like, her a friend just we have, like, a little friend group going on an app called Step Up, and so it's tracking our steps, and it only tracks if I had my phone on me, and I was like, "Fuck, I gotta
Yeah.
get something to wear so it tracks it." So, I found this that I've had for a while, and I put it on. Yesterday, I finally got it connected, and it's all good now and tracking accurately. Not even 6,000 steps. I was
Yeah.
getting just over 5,000, and that's, like, looking at yesterday, I'm like, "That's a pretty typical day for me of, like, a
Mhm.
mix of working from home, training clients, taking my dog on a walk."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Holy fuck." Like,
Yeah.
so that just goes to show that, like, sometimes and this can relate to, like, food too, like, what you don't know, you don't know. You think you're doing something,
Yes.
you think you're eating enough protein and carbs, you think you're getting in enough steps or more steps than what you actually are. But then when you actually track it, it's like, "Holy
Yeah.
shit." Getting that information, I'm like, nope, not where I thought I was."
Eye-opening for sure,
Yeah.
and I think that's so many people
Super.
honestly, those of us that work from home, so many people work from home now since COVID, and I for sure, even see with clients, like, anybody who works from home, and, like, we're literally personal trainers, and still,
Mhm.
like, I'm the same way, like, if I didn't have my walking pad, which I raise this
I
desk
need
up
to
and I
use
bring my
that more, yeah.
treadmill in, yeah, if I didn't have my walking pad, I probably wouldn't even get 4,000, I would bet,
Yeah.
on an average day. And we have this saying that I have with my clients is what gets tracked gets handled. So it's like whatever habit it is that you want to focus on, you have to have a way to track it, whether it's nutrition
Mhm.
or steps or even water or even just things like bedtime routines or whatever. Like if you're not actively tracking, did I do this or did I not? It's not going to get handled. Like you can't just
Yeah.
assume that this stuff is just going to happen.
Yep. Yeah. So, yeah, I was just mind blown by that, and now I'm like, "Okay, it's kinda gamified." I'm excited. I'm like, "I need to get my
Yeah.
steps up. I'm gonna actually do it now, like, do more works." And I stand a lot, which is fine, but, yeah, it's not actual
Mhm.
steps,
Yeah,
so
that was me teaching. I realized I just stand a lot. I don't actually walk a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So there's a couple other things I was gonna bring up, but actually I think maybe I'll wait to bring that up
All
and
right.
talk about a few things from other episodes and then going into the questions from Ask Us Anything. Does that sound good?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. So one of the things here is alcohol as a macro. And this is something like Kiana brought up. And also I had someone else tell me like, that's interesting. I've never heard of that before.
Mhm.
And just some other people make comments about it. And I think that, so I'm curious to know because, okay, this is maybe a good thing. I wouldn't call it a macronutrient thinking about it because a macronutrient, like
It
alcohol isn't a
doesn't
nutrient
have a
at all, which like
nutrient.
we all
Yeah.
know. Yes.
Right.
But I want to know like, why do you categorize it as a macronutrient then?
Because macros are where calories come from. And there's
But
7
also
calories
macros
per gram of alcohol.
yeah,
And there
but
is no
also
other way to classify that.
yeah. I think it's just its own thing personally because macronutrients make up the majority of our foods, so like the
Yeah.
calories and stuff. And of course, if someone's not drinking, like it's not a
Yeah.
macronutrient to them. But that just like got me
Yeah.
thinking. I'm like,
I'm
I'm gonna bring this up and a
I'll
little bit
I'll
of
look it up, but I'm pretty sure I got that from my NCI certification.
what?
I'm pretty sure
Like
I'll
they
look it
classify
up.
it as a macronutrient?
I'll look it up and see, but I feel like that's where that came from.
Okay,
I could be
let's
wrong.
circle
I could
back
be wrong. I
to
don't wanna,
that.
like, talk shit on them if that's not
Yeah,
if that's
let's
not
circle
right,
back
but
to that.
yeah, I'll look that up.
NCI, for anyone curious, is it's a nutrition coaching. It's the Nutrition Coaching Institute, which I went through. It's the nutrition certification that we both got.
Mhm.
And now that you say that, maybe I do. I don't know. Yeah, let's circle
I'll
back
look
to
it up
that
because I
and
have my
let's
shit
look.
over here. Mhm.
Yeah, okay. The other thing we're talking about, so we were in the grocery store because we were talking about the false marketing and
Yeah.
high protein and this just like the shit with that. And one thing that Kiana made note of, and I was like, okay, this is actually good too. I'm gonna bring this up, is that we get these noodles and it's actually marketed as I don't think it's high protein, I think it says protein plus,
Mm.
and that's a good thing with it because if you are trying to get food that has a little bit of extra protein, that can be good. Like noodle, like it's a noodle,
Mhm.
a noodle, it's a noodle.
It's possible.
Uh, but that can be maybe something where you go, okay, what is in the noodles? Like, is there a shit ton of ingredients? How processed is it? Whatever and the fact that, okay, I'm gonna get this noodle versus this noodle because this has a little bit more protein in it
Mhm.
added into it. I don't know, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm all for
You
that,
know what I
and
mean?
I like the ones that are, like, made from beans or lentils because they also have quite a bit of
Ooh,
fiber.
yes.
So, I tend to lean toward like, there's several. There's, like, the chickpea ones, there's, like, ones that are,
Yep.
like, black beans, like, black soybean or something like that, and I don't know, there's red lentil. There's a bunch of different ones, but I tend to that's honestly, like I'd mentioned before, I'm gluten free, so those are the only ones I can really eat anyway. And
Yeah.
there are gluten free ones that aren't protein, but we were eating like the Bunza brand for like long before I had to, like even before I was gluten free. That's what we had been eating because it has. If I'm gonna eat pasta, I might as well get some get some protein out of it too, you know.
Right.
And then it's got a decent bit of fiber in it because they're made from garbanzo beans. So yeah, I'm
Yes,
here for it.
exactly. Yes. So that's the type of, like, marketing that you don't really have that you can look out for in a good way, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's not like yeah.
yeah, that's a
So
good choice. Yeah.
just wanted to bring that up. And then the last thing here, is let's see, we were talking about I think this was maybe last episode, and we were talking about how it's important to get your workouts from a certified trainer, which is
Mhm.
important, but also to bring up that not that someone who is certified doesn't automatically make them a good trainer or a good
Mm,
coach. So it's
true.
also good to think about that when you're looking to hire a coach, looking to hire a trainer. Oh God. Um, yeah, almost knocked over my mic. That okay, yes, like if a person has their personal training certification, they have a nutrition certification, like all of these things, but does it automatically make them a good trainer, a good coach,
Right.
having that experience, you know? So just keeping that in mind, like to be certified, yes, important, but also
There's
keeping your eye out. Like, and like one thing that is a BS type of thing is when people are marketing their bodies so much, like just because they're ripped. Yeah, this actually was a whole thing. I won't get into it now, but it was a whole thing with a social media post that someone made in a local Facebook group looking for a trainer.
Mhm.
But okay, I'm gonna say it. She
Yeah,
was
go
making
ahead.
he or she was anonymous in the group looking for a trainer or a coach in the Sioux Falls area. People commented my name, so I'm like, "Okay, hell yeah." Like I always
Mhm.
I always comment,
Yeah.
and this person comments back and says something like, "No offense." It's pinned to my Instagram, so you can go and look at it if you want, but no offense, you like something like you don't look like you work out or you don't look toned or you don't
Which
look
is
like
insane.
XYZ. Yeah. And then I went to other comments. This person was bashing every single person. And one, she said, let's see, I don't know, one comment that was like super rude. Anyway, the post ended up getting taken down. I did take screenshots because I'm glad I
Good.
kept those.
Yeah.
But this person just shitting on everyone and it was just all based off of looks. And so I made this post talking about like, listen, just because someone looks a certain way, if they're ripped, it doesn't make them a good coach or a good trainer at all. Same thing with the
100%.
certification, doesn't make them a good coach or a trainer. Like you want someone that walks the walk, obviously, and has that experience too.
Mhm.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
okay, that's my rant.
Yeah, man. That's yeah, there's few things that irritate me more than and it God, and I don't know. Like I guess it's just the people that are going to hire this particular person aren't the people that would hire me and I should not care. But it's so frustrating when you see these women like with these all these ass shots and whatever, you know, and everybody's in their things like, "Oh, you know, teach me how to do whatever." And I'm like, this person is making so much money off of showing their ass on Instagram. And I'm
Mhm.
over here with my 3,000 whatever followers trying to not show my ass on
Yes.
Instagram,
Oh my
but
gosh.
like
Yeah.
trying to give actual value, you know what I mean? Like it's
Yes.
so frustrating, but
Yes, in education and
yeah.
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 Yep.
So
That's the world we live in the fitness
irritating.
industry. So, yeah. But okay, so now let's go into the questions
Alright.
from Ask Us Anything. And
Yeah.
we have a list here of different questions from people. So, asking about apps, like these new apps that calculate macros using AI after taking a photo. And I was just
Yeah.
talking to a client about this actually, and I have another client that has been using it, but it's where you essentially take a picture of the food of your plate and it will calculate your macros based off of that. Now,
Mm.
I don't know of any apps personally. One of my clients, actually, shit, I don't remember. I should have looked for this episode. One of my clients did tell me a specific app, and now I can't remember the name of it, so I don't personally know of any apps that do that. I think that if you utilize that, just know that, it's not going to be probably not going to be
Mhm.
100% accurate. I think it's a good it would be a good, like, gauge to kinda go off of,
Yeah.
like, if you just are kind of curious, you wanna get aware, you don't wanna track, it can remove the barrier of
Mhm.
not wanting to track, of taking the time to track, of, like, trying to figure out a recipe and things like that. So, yeah, do you have
Yeah.
any specific apps that you
Yeah.
know of that do that?
No, I don't know of any that do it. I've heard people talking about it, but I don't know any of them that are. My thing with it is, and even just like photos in general, because I've definitely had clients where it was like, just send me a picture of your plate. Like, let's just, start there. Like, because there were people where it wasn't so much that they were trying to eat in a deficit, but it was, I want to make sure that you're eating. So you're going to get 3 meals in, send me a picture of each meal. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
Yep.
But like, where I wonder about that, like, there's stuff you can't see, like the oil
I
that was in the
know.
pan when you cooked that meat, or you know what I mean? Like, you can't
True,
tell what's
yes.
in a sauce or something based on a AI,
That's
the photo.
true.
So it's things like that that have me very skeptical. I'm curious, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I am a big fan of AI. My husband is very huge in the AI world, and what he does for his work and things. And so it just, naturally it makes me curious about it too. But I just can't, I don't know. I can't see how that works, but who knows, man? AI is
It's
crazy.
mind blowing. Like, I remember I did use it. I tried, so my client who had it, I did a picture of my salad, and it was pretty spot on with the food ingredients. It got a couple things wrong. It missed a couple of things,
Hmm.
but yeah, if it was accurate. I don't know. I didn't go back and like
Yeah.
weigh stuff to see, but
Yeah,
yeah.
and
So
that's it too, like, the actual measurements of it, I wonder how it does
yeah.
that. I don't
Yeah.
know.
So, I don't know. Get curious, try it out,
Yeah.
experiment. Like, I don't know of any. I'm sure you could use AI to like, what AI apps are out there that I can
Yeah.
use for my
Ask AI about
my food?
AI.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah, yeah, I'm intrigued, man. It's probably, honestly, that probably is the future of this kinda thing, so
mhm.
we
Yep,
we'll see.
100%.
Curious.
Yep. Okay, and then the next one. So, having a question about control, quote,
Mm,
control. Having one cookie, but then not stopping and having four cookies. Like having one cookie is fine, but having 4 to 6 or more at a time is probably not fine. So, I think the question is just kind of like how to navigate that. And I'm actually going to pull up because I did respond to this, and I'm curious to know your thoughts with this too. 'Cause I really struggled with this also, like, actual control, like, if you were to tell me back then when I was, like, restricting and then binging and all of that and on cleanses all the time constantly, if you were to tell me, "Well, just have 1 cookie and be done." I literally couldn't do that. My mind I could not do that. I couldn't just have
mm,
1. I couldn't stop after
yeah,
1. I really felt like I was out of control with that. So, looking back, a few things. Number 1, emotional eating. I was emotional eating. So, if you can identify that, and that's where you can, again, work through maybe it's therapy, maybe it's,
mhm,
like, removing yourself from a certain situation or scenario or environment. I don't know. Like, we gotta figure out what the emotion is, what that emotion is and what it's coming from, and then, like, retraining your brain with maybe a different habit or maybe a
yeah,
different, like, maybe you go for a walk or I don't know, like, something that we gotta retrain in your brain for that. And then stress eating, which kinda go
mm,
hand in hand, emotional
yeah,
eating, stress eating. Uh, oh, I said those 2 could also be subconscious, which they totally were. I had no idea that I was emotional eating or stress
mm,
eating until after I was out of it. I was like, "Oh, well, that's what I was doing." I didn't realize it. And then under eating, if you're under eating throughout the day, yep, then you're not giving your body the nutrients it needs, and then it's gonna be a lot harder to control those things. And if you're depriving yourself for a long time, then it's like, bam, you can't have just 1. You're gonna want all of it. And then you're gonna be like, "Fuck it, because this is the only time I'm gonna do it." Because tomorrow I'm gonna go back to restricting. I'm not gonna
yeah,
have it anymore. It's the only time that I'm gonna have it, so I'm gonna keep doing it.
yep,
That is the cycle that we also gotta get out of, and that's what, like, I identified for myself.
yep,
And then oh, number 4, not giving your body the nutrients it needs. So, that's kinda where I was with that
mhm,
question, the
yeah.
concept of that, but
My thoughts on it were, I went to the last 2. I didn't even honestly consider, when I first read it, I didn't even think about the emotional eating and the stress eating part, but absolutely. But my first thought was, are you under eating? And so, like, and that's something that I think a lot of women struggle with. Like, I see so much. I had many, many, many hundreds of people join my Facebook group like a week or 2 ago. And one of the things that kept coming up in the question that asked, what do you struggle with the most? That kept coming up over and over is people were saying night, like evening after dinner cravings. And it's like, you know why you have those cravings is because you haven't fed yourself enough throughout the day, and you get to the evening and you just want to shove everything in your mouth. And so the under eating thing, I think, is a huge piece of that, is that we're not eating enough of the stuff we should be eating, the fiber, the protein, the veggies, whatever,
Yep.
or even drinking water. And so then we get to, at the later part of the day, you've already had dinner. You don't want to make anything else. So you're just going to end up going to town on whatever's there, and probably is
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be cookies or chips or something. And
Yep.
then the depriving part was the other thought. I was like, when's the last time you allowed yourself to have a cookie?
Yeah.
So, if you don't restrict those things from yourself, you're not as, like you said, this is going to be the one time I do it. I might as well just keep eating them all. But if this isn't something that we're restricting, you can have more tomorrow. So you're not going to
Mhm.
have that urge as much, I feel like.
Yeah, and, like, what if you did have a little something sweet after dinner? No harm in that. I always like to
Mm-mm.
have something sweet after. I mean, it doesn't sometimes, yeah, okay, fruit, sometimes, like, vanilla yogurt, but sometimes, fuck that. I'm gonna have, like, a piece of chocolate or, like,
Yeah.
a little I don't know, whatever it is, but, like, what if you started to do that? Like, I talked about in the other episodes that I did I certain amount of time, I didn't, like, time it or anything, but it was for, like, maybe
Mm.
half a year, 6 months to a year, where I was like, "I'm gonna have a sweet treat after dinner every single night." And over time, it's decreased the what am I trying to say? I wanted it less and less.
Hmm.
The appeal, it lowered, like, the appeal for it because I was having it so often.
Yeah.
So yeah, just thinking about those things, like, checking off those boxes as we
Yep.
go. So,
Yep.
yep. Okay, Allison asked, "How are you keeping workouts interesting and effective?"
I have
Let's
an
hear it.
answer to that, honestly, that Allison probably doesn't want to hear. My answer to that, and I've said to people many, many times, is that your boredom is stealing your progress. It's okay to be bored. It doesn't have to always be interesting. And
That's
I'm
so true.
sorry that that's not the answer people want to hear, but you know what? The basics freaking work. The
The boring
basics
shit works.
are what's effective.
Mhm.
And so you should be sticking with the same workout plan for a decent amount of time so that you could see progress with those specific exercises. I don't care if you're bored. If I'm being honest, sorry, Allison. Um, but like for real. And then
And
there,
Allison is a stud. She's a badass.
so to me, what I find interesting about my workouts, even if I'm doing the same workouts repeatedly, what's interesting about them is that I'm making progress. And that's what excites me. It doesn't matter if I've done the same thing, however many weeks. I'm not sure if that's what Allison means by that, but it does, if I've done the same thing for the last 5 weeks, if I'm making progress every week, I am eager and excited to come back and do it again because I want to keep making progress, because how else are you going to get jacked? So
That's very true.
So to
Mhm.
me, like that's the way I feel. Like when I saw that question, I was like, "Uh-oh." Like it's
Uh,
probably not the answer most people want to hear. And when we're doing, I
yeah.
mentioned at some other time before about, you see people that will like go on and get like Instagram influencer workouts or something, and they want to like do something different all the time. It's like, how do you know if you're making progress or making growth if you're not doing the same thing for long enough to actually make progress and make growth, and tracking it and keeping track of it so that you can prove that you are making progress on it, like jumping
Yeah.
around too much just because you're bored, that's stealing your progress.
Yeah, and that like you said, I think the interesting part of that is making the progress. It
Yeah.
is trying to go up in weight. It is trying to go a couple
Mhm.
of reps more than what you did last time. Like, it is trying to focus on the form. Maybe it's focusing on,
Yeah.
your body and feeling it in your muscles a little bit more this
Mhm.
week than you did last week and, like, perfecting the skill of that. I will say that so that is very true. Like, I didn't even think about that. For me, I have been so I love to lift heavy. I love lower reps and heavy weight. I freaking hate like 12 to 15 rep range. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't like it as much.
Yeah.
And so I think also for me, because I hired a coach, he's actually the first one that I ever hired to just create workouts for me because I just, so I've been calling it GMST. It's my GMST time, get my shit together time,
Uh-huh.
and with my nutrition. And really what kicked that off was because of how I felt in my body, how I felt, just lower energy, not feeling my best. I was prioritizing not my workouts and food as much, but I did so this is interesting. This is going to be a good thing here. I did a eVolt scan, which shows body fat, muscle, all of those things.
Mhm.
And at this point in my journey, like, it is just data. But now it pissed me off because I'm like, I know I'm
Mm.
better than what I've been doing. I know my standards, and I've not been holding myself to those standards. So it's kind of like, okay, I need to get my shit together and do this because I don't want to see like, and I know that when we are focusing on building muscle, like, you're probably gonna gain some body fat, like,
Mhm.
all of those things.
Yeah.
But just how I felt in my body.
Yeah.
So, like, the scan totally, like, for me, that was fine. It just was like, "Oh my god," like, I don't I need to focus on these things. And where was I going with that? Oh, yeah, so my first coach, he's been reaching out to me ever so often just to check in, see if I need anything, see if I, whatever, wanna hire him to be for him to be my coach. And so, just at the right time. It was when that happened, and I'm like, "Yes, let's do it." And these workouts, while I am like working on the progression, like progressive overload and stuff, it's a little bit more athlete based. Like,
Mhm.
I told them I want to feel like an athlete again. And lifting heavy, like, okay, you can feel like an athlete, but I kind of miss and have been craving the athleticism that comes with like
Mhm.
doing I'm not doing box jumps, but like box jumps or like
Yeah.
skaters or like doing a little bit of the rowing,
Like
like the
more
high rocks type of
conditioning
shit.
type stuff.
So yeah, a little bit more conditioning
Yeah.
and plyo type of stuff
Mm.
and different rep ranges. And so mixing it, so that's another way that I have kept like to answer the question of how to keep it interesting and effective is maybe hiring a coach and
Yeah.
giving yourself a different goal to work towards.
I
Maybe it's a
like that.
competition.
A
Maybe
different
it's,
goal.
yeah, high rocks competition, which is, like, kind of a thing right now.
Yeah.
A marathon, half marathon, a strongman competition, a powerlifting thing. Like, just, like, giving yourself a different goal to work
Yeah.
towards can also make it be a
Yeah.
little bit more interesting and fun.
Yeah, I
Don't you
definitely agree with that because there for a while, like I stopped powerlifting through like cancer treatment and whatever, and I was still lifting, but it was just felt very meh. Like I was like, I'm just lifting.
Yeah,
And so when
yeah,
I had gotten through like physical therapy and whatever else, and I was like ready to message my coach and be like, please, like take me back. I'm ready to start. There was like this whole new spark because
yeah,
actually, like, I signed up for a meet in December, so, like, I have an end goal that I know I'm coming to, and that definitely brought back the excitement to my training
yeah,
for
you're
sure.
working towards something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, yeah, I think that was really good. I think your point was really, really good, and then I think so if you
Yeah.
can, like, take what resonates, leave what doesn't,
That's
but,
right.
yeah, I feel like I'm trying to think if there's anything else, but
Yeah.
yeah, no,
I
that's
think
it.
that about covers it.
Do you ever go through a phase where you're not enjoying anything you're cooking/eating? If so, what do you do to make it fun and enjoyable again?
You know what? I don't you tell me because 'cause I'm in that phase right now.
Okay. Okay.
Literally there, right, and I'm sure I have things maybe, something will you'll say something that'll trigger, but I am
Yep.
so sick of the same things that we keep eating over and over and over again, and, like, I even go to eat my lunch sometimes, and I'm like, "Nah," it's, like, literally
Yeah.
just get it down my throat, you know?
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
So okay, a couple of things. First off, I feel like I'm an anomaly. Like, I will I will eat like boring shit, like I don't really care. But there have been times when, like, let's say it's the chicken, rice, and broccoli or whatever, and I've been eating that for so many weeks, and it's like, "Ugh, I want something else." So I try and so for example, today actually I had chicken, rice, broccoli, and I was like, okay, this is kind of too blah and bland for me. I looked in my cupboard, saw some olive oil, drizzled some of
Mm.
that, got balsamic vinegar, drizzled some of that.
Ooh.
I got some balsamic glaze, drizzled some of that. Goat cheese is so fucking good with pretty much everything. So I put goat cheese in there and mix it all. It was like this creamy goat cheese, rice, chicken, beet. No, not beets. I should have put beets in there. Broccoli. And so I think it's just I like to experiment. I'll, like, throw
Mm,
shit in a bowl and try to experiment and get creative that way. So that's
that's good.
one aspect of it. The other is when maybe it's, I know it's a lot, it can be a lot, but, like, Pinterest, TikTok, Instagram, trying to find things that way makes it creative
Yeah.
than doing that. Or just going through a short phase of I don't know, not caring what you're eating, but maybe giving yourself if it's
Mhm.
tracking macros, maybe you're not tracking
Yeah.
maybe you, don't do that for a little bit. Maybe, it's I don't know. So, like, again, the sauces, the seasonings, like,
Mhm.
mixing it up that way. For me personally, that's kind of That's what works for me.
Yeah, I was actually thinking because I try to eat a salad a day just to get a good hit of
Oh
like
god, I need to do that.
veggies
Yep.
and fiber and whatever. And I was like, I need to go to the store and just buy like 5 different dressings because I feel like just changing up the dressing
Yeah.
can make such a difference. Like I do like to do like sometimes we'll do like a taco salad as opposed to like a regular, a chicken salad with like Italian dressing or, whatever. So like we'll change it up that way, but I'm like I feel like I need to just get some different dressings that way I can really pick and choose what I'm in the mood for that day and see if
Yep.
that helps me because I haven't actually meal prepped in quite a while. And I think part of it was like you said, I was tracking I was like in a cut for a while and I was tracking. And I think I just kind of burned myself out on it. And ever since I've just been like, I'm still eating
Yeah.
well. Like I still eat like today, my lunch today, I had scrambled eggs with like tomatoes and peppers and onions and whatever mixed in and cheese. And then I had like a side of like dried edamame because get some fiber in
Mhm.
there and so like I'm
Mhm.
still eat well. It's not that I'm not eating good because I'm not prepping, but prepping is so much easier and it makes my life so much
Yeah.
easier when I can do it.
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
just yeah, man, I have good question because same.
I know. A really good
Same.
question. Yeah, Chelsea, good question. I think the other thing too is, like, as long as you're not choking it down and gagging and, like,
Mhm.
trying to not throw up eating it, like, there was a time when I had so many sweet peppers and hard-boiled eggs that I couldn't eat it for years, years. So, we'll get to that point,
Yeah.
but I think it's okay to also acknowledge that, "Hey, this is not enjoyable and not very interesting, but I'm doing it because of the nutrients." Like,
Yes.
so I'm doing it for the nutrients, for what it does for my body, for my workouts, like, so there's also a piece of that that maybe you can kind of think of
Yeah.
when it comes to that. And then just being like, getting again curious and experimenting and thinking about how can I what do I like? What other foods can I get creative with and adding things in and just
Yeah.
yeah.
I like to
So,
look at, like, what do I order at a restaurant? Like, at different restaurants, I'm like, "What do I like when I go out? And can I, like, recreate my version of that?" It's never as good, but can I recreate my version of it, which might be something I end
mhm.
up really liking. So I do that sometimes too.
Yes, that is true. Well, so I'll put this out there because I have not gotten sick of this yet. We've been having it for the past like 3, 4 weeks. But for our dinner, we'll do like an open face sandwich. So we've been using Dave's Killer bread, which is really good.
Mhm.
But bread, put cream cheese on it, and then I put slice up some peppers, so sweet peppers. I also like to do a tomato on there, and then deli meat like turkey, chicken, like whatever. We've been doing the expensive, super healthy stuff, so we might stop doing that for a little bit because it's really expensive, but I don't like the shit that's in the other deli meats,
Yeah,
so
I don't either.
we'll do the healthier stuff, and then or the better ingredient stuff, and then a slice of cheese, and then, broil it for 6 minutes.
Ooh.
Oh my god, it's so good, and then I'll put, like, spicy brown mustard on one, and then I've done, like, balsamic glaze on the other. Ugh, it's so good,
Yeah,
it's so
that
good.
sounds
I don't know the macros of
amazing.
it, I'm sure Kiana does, but
Yeah. Not the same at all, but it reminded me, and maybe this might help answer Chelsea's question too, is I sometimes I just don't want this is gonna sound bad, y'all, but I just don't want the healthy thing. I just don't. And have
mhm.
you ever made a grilled cheese sandwich in an air fryer? If you have
No.
never made a grilled cheese sandwich, do you have an air fryer? Oh
Yes.
my god. Listen, that you will never make a grilled cheese sandwich any other way ever again. And so sometimes because it makes like both side the top and bottom of the bread gets like crispy and crunchy and it's so good. But
Yum.
sometimes I'll throw like deli meat in there with the cheese and whatever too. But sometimes
Yeah.
I just want a freaking air fried grilled cheese sandwich. And so I have an air fried grilled cheese sandwich and I just make sure I have some kind of fiber, fruit, veggie, whatever, and then I drink a protein shake with it. And that's how I
Yeah.
hit my macros for that meal. Like sometimes it doesn't have to be like a whole thing. Sometimes a grilled cheese sandwich and a can of beans and a protein shake will get the job
Yes.
done, you know?
Yeah, that is so true, and, like, I'd be curious too if Chelsea, if you're listening, like, to know what your meals and cooking has been like, and
Yeah.
maybe if you haven't given yourself a I hate saying cheat meal, so not a cheat meal, but if
Yeah.
you haven't given yourself a break or just eaten the thing that you really want. So, yeah, there's that,
Yeah.
but yeah,
All right.
I liked
Well,
that question
we're
though.
gonna yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. I know we got more, but we are definitely running late on this episode, and I
I
promised
know, I
them we weren't
know.
gonna be here for 2 hours, so maybe we save
Where are we
these.
at?
We
Where are we at for time?
are, we're at an hour 15.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
maybe we'll save those. That's okay, we can save those for another episode. This was kind of
Yeah.
fun to just talk about lots of
This
different
was
things
good.
and not just one
Yes.
big specific. So, Ubobers, let us know your thoughts. Do you like us randomly talking about lots of different things? And it's not that we're not going to do episodes that are on one topic. Of course we will, but we'll just let us know your thoughts. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
You know where
Yeah.
to find us on all the socials, Ubob
Yep.
Pod.
And next episode, I'll just list the Ask Us Anything questions that we'll have for maybe next time we'll do them. Next time we record for the next episode. And or the one after that, but we'll talk about tips for meal prepping and making it easier, reading labels and ingredients, how to relabel, ingredients to look out for, how to know what ingredients are quote nutrient dense or not, knowing what you're putting into your body. Blah, blah, blah. Those are my answers.
Oh.
Thoughts and feelings on trending diets. Like, I feel like the keto diet is always around and trending, but right now I keep seeing the carnivore diet. And then if you could do one exercise for the rest of your life, what would it be? So that will be for next episode, maybe, or the one after that, and then
one or two. And then every Monday, the Ask Me Anything post goes up on Instagram every single Monday, and Facebook. It feeds over to Facebook. So if you have questions that you've thought of through this episode, make sure you hop over there on Monday, put it in there, and then we'll answer it in an episode.
Perfect. All right. Thanks for keeping us on track, Kristin.
Hey, man.
Because I would have kept going.
Listen, I write it down because this doesn't happen often. So,
so good.
All right, y'all. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye for now.